It didn't do it again. This is a great start. Hello there, Sean the Extra Guy here. Sorry, just belly aching over my damn hotkeys not working. Anyway, it's a bit of a scuff morning. I slept in because either I didn't set an alarm or I pressed. I might have accidentally like dismissed it. I don't remember. I was like half asleep. I checked the time, so maybe I did set an alarm. Because I checked the time and I was like, ah, oh, yeah, I got good time. Nope. Anyway, let's just get on with this, shall we? Let's get to the finale. Let's do this. Let's stop beating around the bush. Let's not dance around the daisies. Dance around the daisies, beat around the bush. Trolling through the tulips. Gallivanting amongst the galaxies. How about that? I don't know. I can't think of a flower that starts with G currently. Galas? I don't know. Garland. Whatever the garland. Gallivanting around the garland. Yeah. Running with the roses. Yep. Singing with the sunflowers. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we had performed earlier. Tests? Yes, tests on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh, yeah, that. I totally forgot about it. That's the weapon that... That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim. So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? The blood doesn't match the victim's. Dagger updated in the court record. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well, please bring in the last witness. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Crane channeling technique. I'm frightened. Fakeland. I don't want any more to do. I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya. The pain of the Fae bloodline causes The pain of the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple. And you witnessed the moment Miss Elise Dornham's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see any. Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, man. So if we don't see the real murderer, who I feel we already proved isn't Iris at this point, are they going to sentence Iris to guilty? I have a feeling it's before I read this, like I said last stream, I have a feeling that she's dead. That she possibly committed suicide in solitary confinement, and she's the one that killed Misty. So, yeah. Anyway.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
I'm gonna say hair got caught loose on a loose wire and electrocuted, but that sounds better. Oh god. Right. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff. Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I just couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination.
Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all.
Who else was on the Inner Temple? Who else was on the Inner Temple side that night?
Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well.
On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later, like she said?
Well, let me think.
She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired.
No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training.
and old ladies, because our victim is an old lady. And Lord knows what this will do to Bikini's business. Oh, God.
Suddenly, someone struck me over the head.
Who did it? Who hit you?
Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind.
You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was?
Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
Maya is really having a hard time. What should I do? Okay, so apparently that's not the one we press on anyway, so... Considering the conditions at the crime scene, it's not surprising she didn't see her attacker. So it looks like even you've got some compassion. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Dunham. By Elise Dunham. Dahlia Hawthorne. Very well, please continue with your testimony. Phoenix, she's not at her max till she's at a Pepsi Max. What happened after you're struck on the head?
I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me."
You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man, a woman, an adult, a child? I had no idea. I was at my wits. I was scared out of my wits.
Believe me, dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes.
I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope.
Well, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No, that's what you said. You said my last hope.
What? I said what?
Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me."
Yeah.
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, you know, that's like what you do. What do you... That's like... What do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to that's who I was screaming to for help.
What is it? Just, what is it now? What is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Huh? But witness, are you absolutely sure what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person?
I am... Well, I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done?
It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
A ton of pressure?
You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up to try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to this case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
A man? Who was this man?
Well, you see, I couldn't see.
You couldn't see?
She's used this excuse twice now. Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright.
Lantern light, did you see?
There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say? Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time.
Okay. So the stone lantern finally comes. Was not lit the night of the crime. Yeah, that makes sense. The light of the stone lantern, but it wasn't lit. So. Objection! So there was a man standing behind your attacker.
Yeah. Yeah.
That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Dunham. Elise Donham. Otherwise known as Misty Fey, your mother.
The killer?
Maya? You know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
What do you mean? What problem?
Maya. On the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
Order in the court. Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of café au lait. Café au lait. Is that even legal? Mr. Trite's words are the milk, and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Objection! Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick?
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. Is milk and coffee legal in California? They made it illegal. For what reason? Someone, probably a fucking Democrat. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Look, to be fair, probably a fucking Republican. Or maybe how about this? Probably a fucking independent. Look, pick whatever you want. Whatever's funniest for you, pick what you want. And yeah, that's who made the that's who presented the law to the California Congress. It all comes back to fucking Congress, doesn't it? Except this time it's the California Congress, which is even worse than regular Congress. You think of Congress and all the bad things about Congress. Well, multiply that by 10 times, and that's the California Congress. Anyway, sorry, I was just looking at something. Okay, can't believe G-Man did this for his investors. I guess it was G-Man all along, wasn't it? The alternative was get invaded by the Combine, or California becomes an independent state. I think we all would have preferred the Combine. Anyway. Hang on. What's going on? Why are we playing them all at once? Welcome to the Sean the Extra Guy stream, people. Welcome to the Sean the Extra Guy stream where we do shit.
Gas and kick bubble gum, and I'm all out of gas.
I'll just let the mods get it out.
Serious?
You know, I can just do this, right? I can just, I can just disable alerts. I wonder what happens if I walk around with this. Hey, I got this. Aha! I did it. I didn't do it. Sorry about that. Just had to go, say goodbye to my aunt. She's going back, and I thought, well, it's a ad break anyway, so so may as well. Anyway, I'm back now. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! 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 Alrighty. Order in the court. What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying the Miss Face saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Objection!
Right. You have any idea what you're proposing? How could she be seen? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene.
Objection!
There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
You talk a good game, Trite, but let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick, don't. Please stop. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. Long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. All right, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Face saw in the darkness? It was Detective Dick Gumshoe. Miles Edgeworth. Well, it has to be a man, so, you know.
By process of elimination, the only men at the crime scene were me and Larry. Now obviously I didn't do it, so Larry did it. I have no other evidence but, like, it's Larry, do we care?
Oh, God damn it. I swear to God, if it's Larry... It's not Larry. Because it was pitch black, Miss Fay was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in the courtroom be turned off. But this is... But it can't be. That was a nice bit of deduction. Right. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya.
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
What? Okay, so it just made no sense to fucking... Okay, stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. All right. Yeah, it just doesn't really make any sense for Godot to be there. Why was Godot there? But he also simultaneously was missing during the trial of the other day, so... I don't know. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize until after I woke up, but... When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit and the body was gone. And all the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up, too.
For the reason you thought it was a man is 'cause it was a boner, and we know one man who always has and thinks.
Oh, and thinks? No, he doesn't think. Oh my god. He didn't finish it.
Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor,
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Can't tell if Buzzy fainted or realized how stupid his argument is. How stupid his argument was, yeah. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
So you lost consciousness when you're in the garden, is that right? Yes, I think. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then the person that carried you into the inner temple,
It can only have been the killer.
that's what I think, too. So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple.
The torches were lit?
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
That's true. It's hard to see how that would... That's true. And it's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would have gained anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
Very well, let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern. There are a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow anyway?
Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount.
That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood.
It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them. Naturally, the killer must have done it. No, naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence from me. For my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. But then why didn't... So, yeah. I saw this present this, and I'm like, yeah, so why didn't the killer clean up this then? Objection! The body of Elise Donham was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered up in blood. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh? And what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? You're right. Order, order, order! But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? You know what? I just had a thought. You know this letter? I think Pearls showed this letter to Elise, aka Misty Faye, and that clued her into everything. Now, Pearls would not have understood that this was a letter only meant for her, but she would have handed it to Elise to say, you know, what does this say? Because she did ask about Gravy and Gravely and all that. So she read that, and it's possible that she may have contacted Godot. Because why else would Misty Faye channel the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne? Why else would she do that? Unless she knew. So she might have known Godot. She might have contacted Godot to, like, wait. And requested that he kill, well, her, but kill Dahlia Hawthorne, which was, you know, she was channeling her, like, anyway, yeah, I think this is probably what happened. That's what I think. That's my theory. I don't know if that's actually true. That's my working theory at the moment. Indeed, but it doesn't make sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
Objection.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior?
I mean, that's if Godot is involved, because he was missing the first day of the trial.
Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern?
I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it.
The only other explanation is the fact that he couldn't see the red. He couldn't see the blood, but how could he have seen the bloody snow? Maybe the snow, maybe it was darker. Like the red was darker. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why'd the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern?
Prosecutor Godot, early in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that the crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright?
There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether.
And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing?
I mean, yeah. Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot?
This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented.
This lantern, there's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Nonsense.
This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Très Bien. Is this the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time? And somehow spilled coffee on?
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. You could see the coffee on the white apron.
But you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Dunham. Miss Elise Dunham, also known as Miss Misty Fey. It's hard to believe this may be true, however, once again Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Just make sure you don't fill out the incident. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me into a killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. It's not like it's my name that's written there. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, Trite. The answer is right there at the crime scene. And the snow. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just... Excuse me. Why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Could it be... Hang on, let me... I mean, I hope he does have a good reason for this. I think, like I said, I think the theory is that he knew Misty Fey. So it's possible that he talked to Misty Fey. And Misty Fey fed him through the process. And Godot, or whatever his name was before, Armando. Armando has some sort of debt to the Fey clan, and that he would take the fall. So that could be the possibility. Godot fits in. It's missing the T, but it does look like Godot in reverse. I'm not sure I can see it. You know, it doesn't entirely look like Maya either. The blood doesn't match the victims, though. So there's this whole thing. You know, I wonder if the blood matches Dahlia Hawthorne. That would be funny. If the blood matched Dahlia Hawthorne. Like, very clearly it wasn't Elise's. It wasn't Misty's blood. All right. Anyway. Could Godot have been in the hospital because of a stab wound, which is why he wasn't in trial? But then how did he like get, like how did he escape the like how did he get down the mountain to the hospital, you know? Anyway, yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow, and so he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see it. He would have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot?
Wait just a minute.
Maya? What is it, witness?
Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the Inner Temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after the old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Maya, you can't testify to something like that.
Why? What do you mean? I mean, look at...
After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Maya, you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Nicely done, Wright. Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Unless this is another red herring. This whole thing is like, you know, it wasn't Godot. Anyway. Please tell us what happened at the Inner Temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling, and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearly was there at the Inner Temple, too.
What was the bonk for? Oh, because I said red? Red herring? That hardly constitutes as a bonk. That constitutes as a you're fired, but, you know, we don't have that reaction for free anyway. You have to probably buy it. I don't know. I don't know if that exists on the what is it, Tangia? Whatever it is. Is it Tangia? It's Tangia, isn't it? That's the one I use. Look. I don't use it. You guys are the ones that use it. Anyway, hello, Zazak. Anyway.
But little Pearly was there at the Inner Temple, too. Pearly was also stuck on the Inner Temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the Inner Temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
Who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Fay.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on. Pearly would never tell a lie. Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be.
Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot, let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright, let's get this cross-examination started.
Pearly was also stuck in the inner temple side that night.
So where do you think Pearl slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training.
But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place?
It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya. She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense.
Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Donham. Elise Donham.
The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna because we're nearly at the end at this point. And I've got no health left in terms of the penalties or whatever.
He cheered her up. That's what Pearly said. And she said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. The truth is there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-toothed combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style.
Maybe I should ask some questions Phoenix style.
Okay, which is the... Alright, Godot's investigation. Thought so. For once, you're with the judge. Godot isn't just hot, he's still material. Fuck. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trilogy. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Fey, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Western tastes? Could he find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So from there, you headed for the prep room.
Wait a sec, what did Godot just say now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Donham. Hanging scroll. Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall? Hanging scroll? But Mr. Godot is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who... Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? Did he, like, bring the fucking... Did he bring it into the fucking hole? Did he, like, rip it off the goddamn, like, wall and bring it into the, sorry, into the hole, into the courtroom? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, why wouldn't you have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye? Wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Take another look at that hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that. It's the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark... Then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. No, but hang on, the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Well, the hue and aroma of Western tastes could have been the gravy. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Wright? What is it? This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh? What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan? I'm guessing I have to pick... Hang on, let's see. What is the... Burnt Letter and then Mia Fey. Burnt Letter. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future. And these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. unsealed? Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. And you still insist this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. But you just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? Yes. It could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Order! 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 Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you're the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation. I'm gonna have a fucking. On a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. It wasn't the best rating, but yeah, I'll do it again. On a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the Inner Temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness? That's right. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that was forced to you. An unshakable reason that was forced to. I can't fucking speak. An unshakable reason that was forced. What? Why does my brain keep wanting to fucking read a word that's not there? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Maya. I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Okay, Trite. I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. Yep.
That's Mia. I would have thought it would, like, that maybe Misty would have known Godot, but no, I guess it is just Mia. There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only... Why am I fucking so off today? I'm off every day, it seems. Do I ever have an on day? She's Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot? His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. And in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Mia, you can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to damage it caused.
That's terrible.
Apparently it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning, my eyes flew open, from the smell of the doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years. And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. The very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. And the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed, the woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there's only two reasons left to live. And it was for those two reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your two reasons to live? The first was you, Wright. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the same way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor. My other reason for living? She goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You're the only way I could make up for them. You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Crane Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But how did you contact my mother?
She had been missing for
almost 20 years.
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean, officially?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government?
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Karain had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. Oh, there's a break. I'm gonna take the time to also have a break myself. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Hang on. Oh no, it's alright. Test. Yep, no, we're good. We're good. Okay. Alright. I'll just read this again, because I'm pretty sure I did read it, but, you know. Even without her official position, Misty Faye still wielded a great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her. The police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you. Don't ever forget, no matter how far away she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fay, if necessary. Yes. Even if it meant paying the ultimate price. Mother... That night, the night of the crime, there's just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean pearls, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Fay had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. As Master of Karain, Misty Fay's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fay wouldn't be able to. What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fay. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you need to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Godot. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to, Tried. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fay, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot. Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. No, Nick. Please don't. Maya. I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too. Maya, I know that. Nick. But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Fay, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
All right, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead, though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden.
Things break, Wright. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya is telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
Okay, since we're like almost at the end. Okay, I gotta press. Just at that moment. Okay. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? So then that scream came for the killer.
That's gotta be it. I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
And after that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
Sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kinda want her. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Remember the testimony she gave. Remember the testimony she just gave before the killer let out a scream. Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Is that right? She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff.
If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Wright.
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here.
If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer?
The dagger.
Right?
Yep. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the... Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
This dagger was found at the scene of the crime. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree.
Yes, the detective found that Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Just because she let out a scream doesn't mean that he was... Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Have you forgotten that the blood was already... Have you forgotten that the blood was already... Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. You're saying the blood of this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Tried. Order! Order in the court! Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Let me ask you something, Tried. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes? What does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on him. It can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Tried. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. What? In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. All right, then, witness, continue your testimony.
Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Maya.
This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer?
That's right.
But if Mr. Godot had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya?
Maybe he just changed his clothes? That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily. What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
That's right. And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple...
Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Ah! Order in the court. What the witness says is it...
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
Movie watching time. You're gonna miss the end. I suppose you can watch the replay. But anyway, but no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes?
The judge just takes smart pills during the last recess.
Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them. That's impossible, Tried. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. So that's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, If Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. If Mia Fey were here. So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer, but can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I was taught that it was one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. That's good. A fighter to the bitter end, Trite. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Why don't we go for the ultimate penalty? Are you going to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite. Twite. What the fuck? Twite. So what do I do? At a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say? Hidden? This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. Okay, I don't really fucking know. So apparently it's Godot. Just Godot's profile. I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Hello, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. It's beneath your mask. Yeah. That's what I kind of figured it would be. So I'm like, how do I present that piece of evidence? Apparently it's just presenting his profile, so alright. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right.
Your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Ah! Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. Then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought. Mr. Godot? But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person who could never find it in my heart to forgive was me. You yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, and there's one person I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. But I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. You know why? The real reason? No, why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette. A part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or is it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who was
Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today. However. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Godot. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma. I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando.
You'd do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. This time, it really is over, isn't it? Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor?
Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what?
For the case 5 years ago, of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yes, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister. You only met twice.
Huh? We only met twice?
The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed.
No way. It just can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were...
For those 8 months, the one that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Dahlia? I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny.
You mean...
That's right. I lied to you. For 8 months.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me? You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place?
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime and she would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed.
Noticed what?
My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life or mine.
Iris.
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
I'd have something to say to you too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you.
How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though, right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so, Phoenix Wright? Oh my god. Yeah, I think you're right. Now they're just having coffee together. Okay, well, you know what? I've just sentenced you to, how's about 1 month's community service. You can do it together. And Wright, your sentence as well. But what did I do? Accomplice, I guess. I don't know. Don't question it. You're getting... You're gonna be joining them. You'll have a fun time. I'll even say you can go community service at a... let's see, we got Hawaii. How about the hot springs? Oh god. The next option was send you to San Francisco, but I don't think any of us want to go to San Francisco. Anyway, the purpose of this trial is to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Donham. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned. February 10, 4:51 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended was justice... The way everything ended... Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. Mia! I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando. The man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand, too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You're as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. Mia, you've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Mia, I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I've found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer. Nick. Maya. I guess it's just like my sis said. Mia, what did she say? That night when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry. Phoenix will save everyone in the end. But... Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, Sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you everything for what... We owe you everything you've done for us, Nick. How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Youch! Francesca! Still a softie as always, Phoenix, Wright? Excellent work, Wright.
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, when did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francesca have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been there on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. But where are you, Nick? I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day.
Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francesca.
I don't suppose there's room for me in this group hug, is there?
Oh, Larry.
What's with the longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once.
That's not true, right, Nick?
What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh, yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me?
Why are you making that face? Huh, Edgy?
No, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say they lack resemblance.
Do you really mean it? What about you, Franzi? Did I draw you well, too? Ah! My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. Then you do it, like you promised? You're going to model for my next picture book, Franzi's with... Ah! Don't get carried away. Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl was pretty damn good too, if you ask me. Huh?
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
Pearls? Where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya. Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. Hey, Pearly!
Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that has happened.
Yeah. To be honest, I can't understand it either. Francisca. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well.
I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now is exactly the time?
Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry.
Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow! And tell me, Phoenix Wright, who is Maya Fey being strong for?
Pearl.
Pearl Fey? The poor kid. After all, the reason she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fey clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya.
Her mother could not corrupt Pearl. Her mother was really fucking delusional. To somehow think that Pearl would go along with her plan. To somehow that Pearl would understand killing Maya. Like, you know, her mother is dumb, but she's also evil, so, you know. Dumb and evil.
Anyway,
it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. It's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable.
And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. Until she can see her smile again.
Oh hey, so this is where you all were. Well, looks like we've got quite the bunch here today. What was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary's just sorta kinda gone down by a teeny-weeny bit, but it's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Oh, no, not... Please, not très bien.
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward. Detective Gumshoe? You said a first-class French restaurant. You said a first-class French restaurant? You don't mean...
Très bien. Where else?
I knew it. We're doomed.
Come on, let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby. You're invited too.
Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser's shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya is taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong? Nick, what do I do? Pearlie, I can't find her anywhere. Huh?
I'll bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
As I figured. She's been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal?
Could you guys go on ahead?
But what about you?
Maya and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls. Nick?
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe.
We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, but you're the...
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead.
Don't keep us waiting, Wright.
We won't. But where should we look? Where could Pearlie have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to. Hazakura Temple? For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? You're all back again so soon? Sister Bikini? I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So, she's here? Pearlie is here? She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? Okay. Pearlie's not here. Maya. The hanging scroll. Someone cleaned it off. It's got to be pearls. Mystic Maya. Pearlie? Why'd you just leave like that? Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother... That's why you came here? It's the least I could do. To pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearlie. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother's gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya. I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty. Sister Bikini, your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night. After dishonoring the good name of Karain, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. But even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? Never take the charm off until the day you die? That's the master's talisman. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents. That's... a photo. Mother... It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight on for others. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. So it was broken before Pearl even broke it. Wow. How many generations have broken that urn, I wonder? Even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed. That is so funny. That is so sweet. That is so cute. Fucking Mia and Maya. Maybe they both broke it accidentally. Anyway. We always return, even when we always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't... Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime. Okay. Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise. I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 when you come back. Alright, we're going to have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya. I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? I got another ad break coming up. What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. Huh? I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? Huh? It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course, naturally. Huh? 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 That's a great idea. That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before we come back. Before we come next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing. Sure, of course you can. I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. Oh, we're getting an ad break. Okay. I'll take the time to also take a break, and there'll be the end after this because, yeah, it's currently 2 o'clock, but yeah. Be right back. Oh, good. We actually got the, we got a clip that's most recent. Alrighty. Okay. Time to continue this. Which there won't be, I'd say there's probably like 10 minutes left. Roundabouts. An unofficial Fae tradition breaking his own. Yeah, that seems to be a thing. Anyway. I'm getting goosebumps too. Well then. Here goes nothing.
Objection!
Planning script director Shu Takumi. I really have to work extra hard now. Master of Corrine and the office manager of Wright and Cole offices, and I have to be a good big sister to Pearly. Fuck, I can't read this fast. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. So it's true, Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in shining armor. He went through with the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making them a secret reservation. Shuichi Muramoto, graphics lead.
Maggie brought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old overcoat is just more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly.
Kyoko Takeda, Chiaki Teramoto. Mr. Wright, I'm once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Corrine exhibit was a great success. I've got to see Miss Von Karma, who I had seen... fuck. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned.
Oh, damn. Oh, God.
Desi and I started a company called Master Mass Consulting. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the... Fuck. God damn it. It's just way too fast for me to read through. You know, for some reason this song, there's like a... I think it's because my brain is Deltarune and Undertale rotted. But I could sort of see there being a freedom motif in here and a don't forget motif. So I lent him $500,000 and a tea set. A special thick tea. One I mix with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it now. Win through compromise. I mean, it was probably made with all her love, you know, because she's misunderstood. I'm just an old and in the way a wrinkly grumpy clown. At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper. As usual, we have an abundance of work. We hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everything will get along. His name is Adam Mata. As soon as I heard his name, I knew a brain circus would align perfectly. Adam Mata. Wait, who is he?
My, more reporters. Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Wow!
You've turned into a responsible young man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone to come the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed.
Voice.
Objection!
Sam Riegel. Okay.
Objection!
Sean... Is that Sean King?
Objection!
Christina Catano. Could have been Seon King. Seon...
Objection!
James C. Wilson.
Objection!
Janet Sue. David Chrislip.
What's this? I'm back from my long tiring vacation. I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit, and now I got no one. And what kind of a lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? And with all the flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. And then I'm going to do it all the macadamia nuts I brought for everyone. If I bring back the Angelus and sword down the north, I accept neither afraid or they're gonna. Oh, when I would receive a finally.
The fuck? She's a crazy old woman. I finally found something I love to do. Franzie's whippity trip is going. Is now taught the fuck me. It'll turn the art world on its head. Self-centered. I'm an artist, a really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. This is what I mean. I can't read when it's too fast. He did a good job. Well, he actually did a really great job. Look at that. Well, that's the entire trilogy done. It is an amazing series, honestly. A lot of things I thought was going to happen. I guess, yeah, he did, like, I was right about Armando working with, well, Godot, if you want to call him that, working with Misty Faye. He even worked with Iris, so yeah, the whole thing. Gallery. Music player, scene creator. What? What is this? Green screen. Okay, so you can have a green screen. Blue screen. Okay, that's pretty funny. How you can do this.
Objection! Objection!
So basically, you can, like... That's pretty cool. Because you can... essentially do your own lip sync work. I'm Phoenix Wright. Look at me. I'm Mr. Phoenix Wright. I sound like Mr. Phoenix Wright because I'm totally Phoenix Wright. Anyway, that's pretty cool. You can do that. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, so it's different, the witness stand. All right. Oops. Actually, hang on. Art book. Let's have a look at the art book. Look at all this. That's cute. I mean, it's, you know, it's from the menu screen, but yeah. Man, this series. Maya Fey. Wait a minute. That's something we never saw her in. I don't remember seeing her in that. There's a good like reference poses as well for artists. Now, why didn't we get Mia Fey in the I mean, we got Mia Fey in Maya's clothes, but not Mia Fey in Pearly's clothes. Why? Because the boobs would just would just be just boobs. How about that? Oh no, because hang on. No, Rise from the Ashes. Justice for all. Trials and tribulations. Okay. Okay, near the backgrounds, scenes. Episode 1, episode 2. Alright. Anyway. Well, that's the end of the Phoenix Wright trilogy. Of course, there's a whole other arse trilogy that we still got to go. But I will start that at some point in the near future, very near future. Obviously not today. But yeah. Apollo Justice. Ace Attorney, as it's called. Hang on. Yeah, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. And that's basically where the series gets turned on its head. I've actually not really played Apollo Justice, like the first Apollo Justice game. Well, there's only one Apollo Justice game. The rest are Phoenix Wright games, but they have Apollo Justice in them as well as another character. So, yeah. Anyway, this gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But yep, it is a magnificent franchise that honestly, the Ace Attorney series is, you know, like it is completely, or at least it can be completely batshit insane with some of the stuff. You know, as we've clearly seen, how cases have gone. Man. And that's the first time I've actually completed the whole trilogy, though. Which yeah, the original game I never properly played, but the game on 3DS, the trilogy on 3DS, I played that up until Trials and Tribulations. That's the first time I've gone through the entire series properly and finished it. So a lot of it was a mystery to me. A lot of it was like me trying to remember shit and me forgetting stuff. This one will be no different probably. I never played Apollo Justice, so there's that. I have played the second game. I forgot the name of. What's the fucking name of the other one? Hang on, let's check the store page. What's it called again? Dual Destinies, that's what it's called. Yeah. So I played Dual Destinies, and I think I pretty much finished it to the end. I didn't play the DLC, though. There was DLC for it. I remember that, and I didn't get it. And I've never played Spirit of Justice. So, yeah. And the 2 previously DLC-only special episodes for a total of 16 episodes. Yep. So, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. So let's, yeah. Let's look forward to that. And of course, I've never played the one that's like supposed to be set in Japan. So there's that too. All right. Yeah, that's all good. Alrighty. Potential, because you could be 100% wrong. It's all right. My memory did not serve me well during this playthrough, so at least for the 2 games, Trials and Tribulations, and the other one, and yeah, just regular I guess just Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Because it didn't have a name, the first game. As it didn't have a subtitle, I should say. Anyway, I am going to head off now. I do apologize for, like, how this weekend has gone. I expected to actually be able to stream some more. But, it seems no matter what I want, my brain seems to want another thing, like sleep. And to forget to make a fucking alarm, or to dismiss an alarm and then forget about it. So, you know, my brain seems to hate me. Does not want to cooperate with my mind, which, yes, they are separate entities. Somehow they're separate entities. All right. Anyway, enough waffling on. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for dropping by, say hello. Whatever you did, thank you very much. You're awesome. Hope you realize that. I'll see you again for the next one. Yeah, whenever that may be. Not going to be able to stream Tuesday. Pretty sure. I think probably I'm just going to have like a couple of days rest. Unless something happens tonight, unless something gets cancelled tonight, I might stream. Because yeah, I do have my thing on. My game, my Pathfinder game. So yeah, if that gets cancelled, then I'll probably stream. But I don't think it's going to be cancelled, at least from what I'm seeing. A couple of people can't make it, but that's, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you again, possibly for the, I guess, the anniversary subathon, streamathon, as it's calling it, the 6th anniversary streamathon, which will be on the 24th of June. So yeah, I guess that's when I'll be streaming next. I guess. You know, if anything happens in that time, of course, I'll let you all know. But anyway, guys, thanks again. As always, no matter where you're in the world, no matter what time it is, stay safe and have a nice day.